So it's going to be sort of a refresh now. There we go. We're back. We should be back.
I'm not sure what's going on in the race there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be spectating at this point in time but it says I'm race director, so let me see
Yeah,
if it comes
actually
back.
remembers that you're the race director. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just quickly see if I can go back to spectating. I'm logging in at the moment.
Yeah, looks like we're missing a race there.
Okay, I'm back.
Back.
There we go.
Fantastic. We're just catching the last lap here. Who's that? Is that Memo sliding off there for Rudy? Looks like it. On the last corner. Dang, that's unlucky. Yeah, it was Memo and Rudy. Unlucky there.
Yeah, Memo just out slightly, unfortunately, there.
I think that was the last corner. Yeah, it was the last corner. Ish. So does that mean that Memo is out? Because I think that's his second race.
And that was done in the SR8-RX, unfortunately. I had a disconnect, so we lost out on that particular one.
Yeah, it looked like
but we're going into the next one. Obviously, it's back to the Clio Cup cars. I don't know if you want to just get Dylan into the chat. And let's see if we can...
I think I should send him an invite.
Right, let's just go up to... Oh, Tibashal's not in. Oopsie, come on. Who are we going down to at the moment? Looks like Bruno.
Bruno back. It should be Bruno and Ross.
I think it is Bruno and
Ross.
So
Bruno went to the pits. No, it's Ross and Ronaldo.
Okay, so I've got them on.
Ross and Ronaldo side by side here already, so they should just go.
Yeah, they're pretty much there waiting for that 15 seconds and then they go. There it is.
Yeah, Ronaldo looks like he got the better start.
Floored it through there.
Now the difficult part is to try and maintain the pressure from Ross. Oh, that's Ross that's ahead and Ronaldo behind.
Here we go. Let's just go on board with Ronaldo at the moment. Now, who's Ronaldo racing for these days?
Ronaldo is a Lone Ranger.
Is he the Lone Ranger?
He's a Lone Ranger, but he recently joined Stefan. So
oh,
I'm
there,
not sure
he's
if
off. He's off.
Is it Ross?
Ross is off.
Unlucky. There's still lots. There's still way to go in this race, though. Not all over with.
Not at all. I think here's back on with Ross to see if he can catch up.
6-second gap.
It's a long way.
7 seconds now.
It's a long way.
But, like I said, this is a tricky little Clio. So, let's not think that this race is over just yet. But as I was saying, Ronaldo was he was alone, and then he joined with Stefan now for 2019. I think that they may call themselves the Lone Rangers instead of Lone Ranger. So maybe the name sticks.
I was just going to say, isn't it going to be Poncho and the Lone Ranger? But I mean, that's one of those things there.
That one fits better.
No, he's done it again. He's done it again. Ross, you have gone the other way. A big mistake there.
That Andrew made that mistake.
Andrew made the mistake the last time, and that's all. That's muscle memory. That I'm telling you, that is muscle memory. I've got to turn here. No, you don't. Anyway. I mean, it's a long catch up there. Lap number 2, 12 seconds behind, gone up to 13 seconds. So, unfortunately, Ross out of this one. And I think that's his race over and done.
Is that Ross's second defeat?
That is Ross's second defeat, I think it is.
I think we need to get and he ends it off with a bash.
As he always does. As he always does.
That's his second defeat, I think that's it for us, the Scottish International. All done. We're taking part. I'm sure you will be watching on the stream.
I'm sure as well.
I'm just going to take a quick peek into the game chat. I just want to hear what is up.
100%. So we're back to the GT86 from Toyota. As you have heard, a little bit of a slower drive around the track, but more stable when it comes to obviously delivering. So a lot of guys going to try and make it happen. So it's going to be interesting to see who are the two competitors taking part in this round here at Sarco at the moment. So it is the South African racing community online, and it's the Rock, which is the race of champions that are happening right now, right here. And you're watching this live stream taking you through this track, this little track down in Japan. And tell you what, guys, we've seen some great competition going ahead at the moment. So it is Dylan versus Andrew. The teammates are versing one another at the moment. So, yeah, let's have a look what these two Green Mamba teammates can do with the Toyotas. And there we go in the traditional green and black. Dylan up as the main cameraman. As I said, what we're going to do is the procedure to start the race is being brought up to 15 seconds. So you'll see Andrew will come alongside Dylan, and then 15 seconds, and then they will be over away. So if you're seeing all of that on the screen, excuse me, if you're seeing that all on the screen, basically what is happening is the guys are retiring to the lobby to watch the race. So Dylan's in number 1 position. The sync is on, which means that Andrew will pull alongside his teammate for 2019. He will brake. And then 15 seconds. And then they will start their 2 laps. There we go. Nice pull away. As you can see, Dylan comes ahead of Andrew in this particular case, but Andrew seems to have the inside line there. So definitely he's going to make an opportunity to keep him at bay. However, I think that Dylan has gone on the outside a little bit wide, but he is coming through there, and he seems to have maintained that. A little bit of a slide there from Andrew. So it does seem as though there was a little bit of a breakdown there of his ability to keep the car on the track, but you can see now that Dylan is blistering through. Let's hope he can keep it together, and let's hope that Andrew does catch up and obviously put some pressure on Dylan at the moment. If you're looking through right now, you can see both of them in a close situation. And I can tell you now, it's going to be an interesting, a little bit wide there from Dylan. He's keeping it tight nicely through there. And it looks as though Andrew has gone off the track. So he's a little bit behind now, around about 6 seconds. And that's what happens. You've got to keep it there. You can see the car is slightly bashed in the front there. So there was an incident where he collided with one of the barriers there. Unfortunately, I think it's cosmetic at the moment. There is not any real damage done to that car. And as we have mentioned before, it is all about keeping the car on the track. And you can see we just go inside with Andrew at the moment. But his teammate definitely coming through and going on, and you can see he's yards ahead at the moment. And let's see, he doesn't make that mistake. Oh, that was pretty close, and he did. He did the same thing. And that's muscle memory, guys. That is about...
I think we lost grip there. I think he lost grip. I think maybe the previous one, maybe yes, but that he lost grip.
Ash, I'm telling you now, if you look at the replay, we should take it back to the replay there.
We should
and you know, I can tell you now, all I do is just go to the stream and just take it back a little bit and watch, and you can see he was too far over to the right, coming through that section.
For the right.
Yes, and I think that if you watch the stream, you can actually see the position. And this is the thing on these tracks, you've got to be in the right position to take the corners. If you're not in the right position, it's completed, but Dylan takes it. And I think there was almost a three second gap done and dusted. Well done, Dylan.
He did well to recover.
Yeah, 4 seconds all in all. Best lap there. Best lap is actually quite good there. 1:23. And Dylan did a 1:46. So he obviously came back big and bad.
His first lap was invalidated. That's why. Or his second lap was.
There we go. Is that Memo commenting there? Great event, Sarco. Lost both races, but really enjoyed and can't wait for the next rock, which is the Race of Champions. That's Memo, hey.
Yeah, so that's Memo out. I think
But if
that's
you look on the
Andrew
comment,
out.
the comment on the stream, that's what I'm talking about. There we go.
Yeah.
Comment side. There we go.
And I think that's definitely it is Memo commented. Which
So we obviously lost quite a few viewers on that round because of the stream dropping.
okay.
Here we go back to the
Edition.
KTMs. Yes, I have posted it again. So
Okay.
what I need to do is maybe just post it one more just to let everybody know we are still running and we're still going ahead. So I'll just put it on the Discord again just to make sure that everybody has this particular one. There we go. Enter. And just to give everybody a good indication of where we are at the moment. I'm just going to repost this. Oh, it's always good to post it on the right place, isn't it? There we go.
I definitely want to be posting that in the right place. Who is... Okay, now I was seeing comment from the previous one. And I wanted to show you evidence there that one of the drivers said that the car flicks you the other way in that Clio Cup.
Yeah.
It does flick you. You're trying to line up, but because the rear is so loose, the car flicks you the other way.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that comment. I did see that comment. So, yeah, we're on with Dylan at the moment. I see Dylan has joined the party, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm here. We've just had a few technical matters to attend to.
Yeah, I think it has been an
seems
interesting
to be flowing
one.
nicely. Well, let me just retire and spectate here.
Okay, I've just got to watch. When you do that, I've got to actually just put on the right people. There we go. So we're on with Bruno, and it looks like...
Gerard.
And Gerard.
Yes.
Yep.
So Bruno
so we're
and
now
Gerard.
coming through to the business area, is that we've now done all the loser rounds. Unfortunately, Morris has an easy round for him because unfortunately D wasn't here, so we did lose him.
Okay.
So you'll see essentially what's been happening is the guys have come and they've lined up next to each other. We've been waiting for the 15-second timer, and off they've gone.
Okay. Yeah, so give us a roundup of who's out and who is in there, Dylan.
Perfect. So now that we're in the winning rounds, what will happen here is the loser here will then go up against Ronaldo. The next up we'll have Dirkie and Jakes, and the loser there will go up against Rudy. But essentially we've lost Memo, Ross after that double mistake that he had made, or coming side by side into the chicane. That's quite a brave move there, but they both seem to have come out okay there.
Yeah,
and we've unfortunately lost D and Andrew,
okay.
knocking up my teammate in the previous race.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, but also we saw that you were a little bit wide on that one section, and a lot of people today have made that mistake where they come in there and then obviously turn right instead of left through that chicane. And
So
I think
it is quite
I
an interesting
mentioned...
phenomenon. As you're coming off the power and you're going down that hill, for some reason the rear end starts shifting a little bit to the left and it's pointing the front to the right. So I felt it, Andrew felt it, Ross felt it twice, so very tricky. But
Okay, so it's not muscle memory happening there. It looks like
No, I heard that
Gerard.
comment and I did have a little chuckle, but definitely not.
Okay, I thought maybe it might be a bit of muscle memory, but there, Gerard's just got a time penalty there, and
I see that. Oh, that's definitely not going to help his chances. But what that's going to do is that's going to put him up against Ronaldo, because this would be the first loss that Gerard has had. Because remember that all the drivers here do get to have a one loss before they are knocked out.
Okay. I mean, this is an interesting concept, Dylan. Where did this idea come from, and what sort of made Sarco introduce this?
There we
go.
Lost. That was Gerard. Unfortunately, he just lost it there.
Yeah.
So it was actually Gerard. It was one of his ideas that he wanted a format like this, and I thought, well, let's see what I'm able to do, what cars are we able to use, obviously wanting to keep it as close to the actual thing as possible, and so it was born. And these are all the guys, our champions from last year, and a lot of the new drivers that have joined us, and thought, let's just have an event to kick off our 2019 season.
So well done to Bruno there. He takes the top spot. Gerard, unfortunately, 14 seconds behind there. But I mean, yeah, it's. I think it's a great event, and I see the guys have been enjoying it on the live stream.
Yep,
unfortunately, we
so,
lost.
Savi, I will be back. Let me just pop back in and just get the next race going.
No problem. So there was Dylan, obviously the organizer from Sarco, one of the co-founders of Sarco. Great to have him join us in the chat and obviously give us a very good overview of what's actually taking place. And I mean, it is an interesting format, as it is called the Race of Champions. And I know I've repeated that a couple of times because everybody keeps on asking me, what is Rock? Isn't that a famous wrestler from some series in America? And I'm saying, no, it's actually the Race of Champions. And well, it's great to have Ash with us today as well. I'm sure you've been enjoying some of the comments made by Ash, and obviously the insight that he has to most of the drivers that are actually driving here this evening.
Yes, Savi. Sorry, I just had to do something quickly, but I was listening in on you and Dylan, and it's excellent to hear what's happening in the races and things like that. Truly enjoying the Race of Champions. I actually didn't know that it was mainly Gerard's idea that came up with, so kudos to him. And look at this, we're back to the
we're back to that bloody monster machine. Yeah, absolutely.
What is it? Fusion something, I can't even remember that comment. But
it's a Ford Fusion NASCAR.
Yeah, but we're talking about Fusion. What was it? Fusion. There was a comment
Fusion
made.
Confusion.
Yeah, Fusion Confusion or something. The guys were talking about keeping the power down on this damn thing. But I mean, it's I must say, Dylan, pretty exciting. We've had some guys that are going to be joining you in the next season on. Old Dutch, he obviously came on for a second or two, and I was explaining to Ash that he is a former racer. He's actually racing bikes as well, on tracks as well. So he's pretty keen. He's going to get his rig up and ready, and he says he is going to be doing some practicing. Who is in this round?
So right now we have Dirkie and Jakes, and I do get to have my little bit of my own back because I could hear them in the background having a good old-fashioned laugh there when I struggled with the NASCAR. So I seem to have got my own back here to have them in the NASCAR now. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they both handle this.
Well, I'm sure we're actually interested to see how they both handle it, because I tell you what, there we go. Whoa. He goes right past. What happened there? I tell you what, he didn't stop. Jakes went off the line there.
Okay.
I was a little bit worried about that, but it seems as though Quicksilver has pulled that back.
Waiting for that 15 second to time down. There's some smoke going.
There we
Cannot believe
go.
that start for both.
You
Then
don't wanna
lots of
put it too heavy
smoke, so
down.
much power.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going on here. And I can tell you now, let's go on board. Let's have a pop. Let's have a look here. It is old Durkee, Quicksilver, right in front in the yellow car there. And here comes
Let's see how that
Jakes.
car slides around that corner.
Well,
And
this
that's
is why we got a back view
It
here.
doesn't have brakes. Come on, baby.
Oh,
Lovely. Controlled by Jake, so.
And I can see on the bend there, there's a little bit, I thought that was going to be a bit of a
almost had a bit of
nudgy.
nudge.
Just
I
really
saw it coming
tight.
too.
Yeah. They seem to have kept it quite
Don't wanna
nicely
go on
going
the-
there.
On acceleration too early around these corners.
So this
Keep it nice and
corner has
tidy.
also caught quite a few drivers out. If you get that line wrong, we saw Morris
Yeah.
collecting that wall.
Yes,
For Morris'
took him
efforts, he'll basically be going up against the winner of Charles and Dupi in the next race.
Ooh. That's going to be a tough one, but it's also going to be good to watch.
Pushing
Just
through.
doing
Yeah,
what
I
That
tell you
tight
what.
alignment for Jakes. I
Yeah.
think Durkee managed to get that power down a little bit sooner, so he'll definitely get the run coming out the straight. But now into this all chicane, very tricky.
And
Braking on the downhill,
there's-
Jakes
Wide.
completely overshot it.
Yeah, trying to push it there, and that's the whole thing. Trying to actually get past that little sector, make it happen, get it moving, and that obviously what plays a big part in keeping that car straight. And I think Jakes has lost it now totally.
Yeah,
Which
fortunately
is
Jakes
obviously
has lost it.
yeah.
But he
Let's
mustn't
just
fight
go
because that looks
Quicksilver. Let's go to
Looks like
Quicksilver.
Durkee did cut that corner a little bit, so we must just watch to see whether he doesn't get a time penalty on that.
Well, that's why I'm watching now. I mean, it does obviously come up quite quickly if you do have an offence, but he seems to have really marched across the line here, and I think it was approximately 6 seconds when he went over, but we'll check it out now. There we go. Round about 7.5 seconds ahead there, and that's just that little error that causes those little moments. You've got to be well in and on track, making it happen. Dylan, you going into the party just to have a comment
I'll
or
be
two,
back
and
shortly.
fantastic.
I think that's Jake's first loss for the evening.
Yeah, that is, and it's going to get interesting.
So he would challenge between Shaw and Ronaldo. Shaw and Bruno. Oof, Shaw and Bruno should be an epic battle.
Absolutely. It's only a pleasure that we're able to bring the broadcast to you guys. We love doing it. Well, I love doing it. It's really fun for me to bring you what's happening and what's going on. So I think what we are going to be doing is watching the next event, and I'm going to hand over to Ash and to Dylan to take you through the process of who's being where.
Awesome. So it looks like we have a RX Supercar Light once again, and it's getting down to the business end of things. I think the main thing for the drivers is to just restrict each other on the start of the race to align themselves and not to just race off. But you can forgive them because it's not natural to the races as they are doing it now. It's the first time they are doing this. So I think sometimes the guys are just forgetting that part and streaming off from the start and forgetting to stop for the legs for his challenger. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more even starts from the beginning, because that is very, very important to get the start right. And we have the Oryx light now. And I think in this race...
Yeah, gentlemen, we've got a Duppy taking on Shoal.
Ooh, lovely
Dirkie
stuff.
did come to me and did say that his brake pedal unfortunately didn't work because he kept hitting the clutch and not the brake. So that's why he did have the much further lineup.
I figured as much as it was a mistake or something. Okay, we don't have Savi here with us right now, so I can't see much of the start of the race. So hopefully when he comes back, he can just switch the camera for me.
Okay, so the guys have lined up, but the one's jumped before the other, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But basically, we've got Chol now going into turn at number 1. He's 1.2 seconds ahead of Duppy. But what I find in these cars is that it can just snap out from underneath you so quickly.
100%. I was explaining that to Savi. What these cars do to you when you think you have it all under control. And I think we have Savi back. And I'm watching. Is this Turbo Show?
Yeah, that's Turbo Show. A little bit of a sideways motion there. Oh, Shaw's gone very wide, but he managed to catch it there.
No time.
I was almost anticipating a spin coming off the grass there. And we just see Duppy, he's now got the time penalty for the track limits. So unless there's
in the long run.
So if he gets knocked out here, he will go up against Marius in the Ford NASCAR.
Ooh. It's gonna be tough for both. So anyway.
So Charles just needing to keep it on the track because Duppy does have it all to work for here. 2.8 seconds behind him. But Duppy will have another chance to come back.
Oh, is this Shaw?
This is Shaw, correct. Yeah, so I am seeing on my screen, so I do have mine on Shaw.
No, I see I'm on, sorry.
Yeah, the Duppy is now dropping 11 seconds back.
On that corner, we
coming down the hill.
That downforce just hits the underside of the car. And if you're coming in there with the wrong angle, you're definitely going the other way. Unlucky Duppy. So Duppy takes on Marius.
So that's correct. So Duppy will take on Marius. And that means Shaw will now progress. And he will go up against the winner of the next race. And that is between Yolan and Jacques. I will be back.
Cool. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have Turbo Shaw going through. Duppy losing out, but not completely out yet. So hopefully he will be coming back with a vengeance, and same with Marius, who kind of have my hopes up as he's a former Cape Town boy as well. So hopefully they both can bounce back and make it an epic race. So we're just waiting on Savi to return. To take us through the final stages of the races and of this racing of champions 2019 on Project Cars 2. If you don't have the game yet and you're planning to get the game, get it now. Come and join us. We have tons of racing in the week, some casual racing on weekends, lots of practicing. So if you're new, you're not sure, there's tons of guys that are willing to help you out with setups. I mean, surely, I remember when I started, that's how I started, knowing nothing, and getting the help from these guys, uh, from setups, tuning, tracks, how to take your corners, everything. Um, Please, guys, if you're thinking of getting the game, it will be a good choice, and I think you will get it at a reasonable price now. The game's been out for a year and a half or so, it's very enjoyable and can be frustrating at times, as you could see the races, the guys just missing the apexes here and there, and that's it, and that's the end of your race. But that is racing, and I see Savvy is back. Welcome, Savvy.
And Dylan is back.
Oh, it's Dylan that's back. It sounded like Savvy.
No. So now we have Jacques versus Yolan in the R8 LM.
Ooh. So they gotta line up first.
So they'll have to line up first, that is correct. So the furthest placed driver will line up next to his teammate, or his opponent. They're waiting for the 15 seconds timer to count down. Once it hits 15 seconds, they're off. Great pull-off for both of the drivers.
Both in the Thrustmaster cars this evening. And
that's the color of champions.
The color of champions. I think it's your favorite color, the green mamba colors. But
that
anyway,
is correct.
Jock's just getting ahead of
Oh, let's put some decorations on the track for you. And obviously the marker's gone through, but you can see very nicely done by Mal at the moment, pushing away quite aggressively. Obviously showing how it should be done in an R8 at the moment. So Be Awesome is now catching up quite nicely there, pushing through.
You see, he did get a little bit sideways coming through that second chicane.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, absolutely pushed, as you were saying, it's got that tendency to push the car out there, and that's where the guys are having to push it through, but very nicely done. And I think what we should do is there is a slight penalty there. And I just want to go back to Be Awesome at the moment. He's, if you can, just.
Oh, that's actually, his name is actually Yolan. He actually races with Rudy under Team Synergy. They joined us halfway through last year, and I'm sure they're going to be one of the competing teams for this upcoming season.
And when does that season start, Dylan?
So we will. That was very wide there. So we'll have the Formula C starting on the 31st of Jan. Well, there's Yolan in the kitty litter. Unfortunately, that will be his evening over. Oh no, it's not, because that would be the first time that he's lost, which means he's actually up against Dylan in the next round.
There we go, Dylan.
Jacques. And Jacques here actually will now progress. So well done, Jacques.
Very nicely done from his side. You're going to join us in a second or two.
I'll be back because now we have Jakes versus Rudy, and they will be in the Porsche.
And awesome.
I'll be back.
Awesome. Bruno, yes, things are getting interesting at the moment, and you can see why. A little bit of an error, and you're 12 seconds behind, and that's what it's all about, guys. Is obviously it's a whole lot of fun. Different cars, different applications. Practicing this is quite hair-raising because you've got to obviously know all of the cars that are being driven. I know that obviously there was an indication of what cars were going to be used, so the opportunity was there to at least have a couple of laps in these, and very nice from the guys at the moment. Yes,
I just got a message here. They are needing my attention. I'm going to have to unfortunately leave you at this stage. I hate to do this, but it's I'll try to be back. But if I do miss some of it, I do apologize.
Totally understood. Totally understood. And we'll just carry on
100%.
this one. But thank you for joining us this evening. If you do come back, it's going to be
Awesome.
great. They're in the 911 GT3s at the moment, and it is, I believe, going to be Dylan. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have a see and watch who is in the next round. So here we go, just waiting for the lineup to start. We're going to go in. Obviously, the guys are going to prepare themselves, and then it's once again the 2-on-2 concept here this evening, here on Sarco. Yes, we are broadcasting on the South African Academy Online Racing. However, this is a Sarco event. If you are interested in getting involved in this type of racing and you are watching the stream for the very first time, and you're not too sure what's actually happening, it is the Race of Champions. We've had an incredible lineup so far of all the individuals racing through. I'll sort that out right now, just getting an overview of who is going to be in this race going forward. It is Rudy and Jakes who will be racing this evening. So here we go. As mentioned, what will happen is the individual will drive up to the line. Once they reach the line, they will stop, wait for the 15-second countdown, and then they will take off from there. So at the moment, it is Rudy. We have eyes on Rudy. Rudy, nice pull away from Jakes there at the moment. He's pulling through into first place. And obviously, we're going to see what actually happens with this particular process.
We're really getting a little bit tight there. Thought you hit that curb.
He did. So we got Dylan back with us. Unfortunately, Ash had to leave to take care of something. So great to have you back with us at the moment, Dylan. I'm just going to put us on live, but you can see
how squirrely Jakes was coming down that hill.
Yep. And I think Rudy lost it somewhat. And Jake's now steaming ahead at the moment. Coming through, nicely taken. Watches the corners, gets on the apex there, puts down, obviously gearing and making some decisions to get out way in front of Rudy at the moment.
Yeah, so he's starting to pull the gap away. Unfortunately, that's the kind of mistake you can't really afford to make. Coming now through these final races, we only have about 8 or 9 races to go, and then this tournament will be over.
And there
Just
we go.
remembering we are in the losers round. We still have Bruno, Dirkie, Charles, and Jacques, who haven't lost a race yet.
And unfortunately, Rudy has pitted. He has given up. I mean, that was done and dusted. So Jakes goes through to the next round. And I don't know from the situation of Rudy if this is
that's
his
it.
first
Unfortunately,
loss.
yep. Rudy.
Yep.
Rudy is out. This would be his second loss, so here, unfortunately, his tournament is done. But thanks, Rudy, for joining us, representing your Synergy Racing. It's really awesome to have you with us.
So who's up next then? I mean, Jakes goes through.
So next will be Gerard and Ronaldo, and they will actually be in the Radical, the S8RX.
Fantastic. So we said how many races left? Around about 9 races? Is that correct?
9 races. Around 9 races. That is correct.
Okay.
I'll be back. No!
I'm trying to send you an invite, Dylan. Are you out? Oh, goodness. Right. All right, I think it sent an invite. You should receive it.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'll see if there's anyone that's in here that would like to come and join you in the commentary box.
No, it's up to you.
Starker Regen am Karussell. There's heavy rain at the carousel. It's raining hard at the carousel. At the carousel now. At the carousel now.
So, who's up next? That's the question. So while we're loading in at the moment, let's just see what we can do when it comes to seeing who is where and what is going on. So, Dylan, who is on at the moment? Is it Dylan?
So now we have Gerard and Ronaldo in the Radical. But unfortunately, I might disconnect because I am not the host anymore, which is exactly what has happened now.
Oh, no.
But not a problem. You are officially the room owner. So once I go in, I can tell them what to do and who's racing, and they can carry on.
100%. So who is racing now? If I just see.
So now is Gerard and Ronaldo. So V-Dubber.
Okay, I've got it. Yeah, 100%. I just wanted to make sure. And because what happens is when the guys are retiring, obviously there's it doesn't like that too much. So there's a lot of
it doesn't at all.
Fiddling. Yeah. There's a lot of fiddling. Am I able to? Are you watching at the moment or not, or do I have to send you an invite?
So I can get back in. I will use the original invite that you sent me.
100%. So Turbo Charles seems to be still in at the moment. He's out now, so everybody's out, and it is Ronaldo and Gerard that are on the track. Obviously, they will come up to that 15-second mark. There, they pulling up to the start line now, and they'll wait for the 15-second countdown and start this race. It will be on its way. And there we go, a fantastic start going from Gerard there, pushing it nicely. Ronaldo coming in behind him at the moment, and there he goes. Wow, what a pull away it was. And unfortunately, Ronaldo loses that car dramatically on the first corner. And there we go, Gerard pulling away quite nicely in the number 3 car at the moment, and definitely getting yards ahead. Comes through that little chicane, looking very, very astute through the corners that he's pushing at the moment, not taking anything for granted at this point in time, and driving really exceptionally well at the moment. It's a 3-second gap at the moment. And it seems as though Ronaldo is actually catching up, because he's just brought it down to under 2 seconds. There it jumps once again. So I'm hoping that it is going to be much closer than it currently is. Dylan, are you back in at the moment?
I am, yes, but unfortunately I don't have a picture, so I'm just watching the live stream. So everything that you're saying, I'm getting the picture about 6 or 7 seconds later.
Yeah, it is 6 or 7 seconds after that. And that just helps the stream flow nice and easy. That's why we do that. And there we go. I mean, at the moment, Gerard well ahead. Obviously looking to take this. There is that 3-second gap. It does jump down quite dramatically at some points where you can see he's catching up quite nicely. Just going on board now so you can have a good overview of what it looks like in that car. And you can see right now Gerard making no mince or bones on his driving ability here, really keeping it tight and tucked, and obviously putting in. He's already done a 1:25. Ronaldo's done a 1:30, so that is almost 5 seconds behind. It's crept up to about 4.2 seconds, the distance and the yardage between that. The race is complete and done and dusted. So Gerard goes through Ronaldo at the moment. He's in second place. So what does that mean overall?
So that means that Ronaldo is now, unfortunately, he's out, and Gerard will meet with Jakes in the next round.
Okay. You're going on to the group to obviously let them know what's going on, and I'm sure that you have access to that now.
That I do. Thank you.
So there we go, guys. You can see the best laps there. Very similar in the laps from these two drivers, but as we mentioned, one little mistake, that's all it takes, and you are out. And that's the discipline of this type of racing. You've got to keep it really tight and tucked, and make sure that you stay consistent through your driving experience. Remember, this is the race of champions, and it's 2 laps going through, pulling through who's going to win this event. At the moment, some really great contenders that are driving here at Sarco. And as Dylan mentioned, the new season for 2019 officially takes off on the 31st of January. This was the brainchild of a number of the Sarco members, but I think Dylan has mentioned Gerard obviously put this proposal forward, and I think it's been a success so far. So thank you very much for joining us and going forward with everything. Yeah, it says I own the lobby, so I must obviously go back to return to the lobby. So there we go. Sorry. So it looks as though Dylan is giving the briefing to the drivers at the moment, and yeah, 11 left in the lobby at the moment. A couple of guys out, and I'm sure it's going to be a big one going forward. So there we go. Ross, I would agree with you on that point. I think the final should be the NASCAR. Please, everybody's calling for that NASCAR.
Savi, could you please change the car for us to the Lamborghini?
Okay. Now
because right now it is myself, Yolan. So it is under L, and it is the Huracan ST.
Okay, so my alphabet is terrible, because I'm still looking for the Lamborghini there, and is it the Hurricane GT3?
The Huracan ST.
The ST, there we go. So that's the vehicle we're looking at now to be
that is
raced.
Correct.
There we go. So this is actually quite fun. Now I get to run the entire thing, just watching, Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure. So it is Yolan and myself, and you won't have me in the commentary box.
I'm sure I won't. You're going to be just pushing that pedal to the metal, as the Germans say.
I will be back shortly.
Okay, good man. So as you heard, it's Dylan up. So we definitely are, and it's great to see what you can do. Definitely with Project Cars. So there is the stats on this car. Great thing to see. Awesome to watch. And here we go. Just waiting for the load in. So yes, a nice comment there. Bring it home for Team Synergy. At the moment, as you know, it is currently Dylan, and I think it might be, if I'm not mistaken, is it going to be? Yes, it is. It's going to be Dylan and Be Awesome. So there they are, pulling up to the line. They will wait for the 15-second marker, and then they will be away for away. So we are on board, and there we go. Dylan gets nicely ahead of BA, which is Be Awesome. And I can tell you now, this is going to be a very close race indeed. If we have a look at the moment, you can see number one driver is currently Be Awesome as me. And I tell you what, Dylan has some catching up to do, and I'm sure he's going to be looking at ensuring that he's going to be putting a lot of pressure on the driver just in front of him at the moment. And let's just go on to the cockpit view, just to have a look at where he is currently putting himself and pulling through there. Nice little move there on the apex. Now he has to get around, not too much. Oh, there we go, both of them into that little barrier area, and that has been a little bit of a factor that's caught a couple of guys out this evening. And oh no, Dylan, you've done it again. Unfortunately, just losing it slightly, but you're still ahead of Be Awesome at the moment. And I tell you what, wow, that was quite a little bit of a swing ding there. And you can see at the moment there is some damage to that car. And you can see he is trying to pull it back. Obviously looking to make sure that he catches Dylan at this point in time. So we are on board with Be Awesome as me. And you can see that car is getting a little bit tricky to handle. And I think it's because of that little incident they had against the wall at the moment. A little bit wide here. But he has to now come back in a big way to push that car through to see if he can get ahead of Dylan. And I think it's become quite undrivable at this point in time. But nice to see he's not giving up at the moment and still continuing. So Be Awesome as me at the moment, really pushing it to see if he can come back in a big way to catch Dylan. But very nice from Dylan. He did obviously have a bit of a problem there. And that now sees Dylan going through to the next round. So just taking us back to the lobby at the moment, I will get the race instructions from the organizer at the moment. We will be changing the car to a particular vehicle. We were in this beautiful car from Lamborghini. It was obviously produced in 2016, and I tell you what, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.5 seconds, 610 horsepowers, and I'm just waiting for Dylan to come in and tell me who is their next car and who they will be driving with at the moment. So I'm just waiting for you.
Savvy, come in, Savvy, please. Could we have the Ford Fusion and NASCAR?
So we're back up to the Ford. And at this point in time, I just need to check it out. There we go. And you said it is the Ford Fusion at this point in time. And I'm popping it down. Am I getting it right at the moment? It's under Ford, yes? For
that
sure.
is correct.
Okay, and I'm looking for it. Aha, the Ford Fusion. That's the car we're talking about, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
There we go. And who's up now, Dylan?
So now we have a Marius.
So Marius.
He's taking on Doopy.
So him and Dupes. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. Aren't they teammates, if I'm not mistaken?
No, Marius is teammates with.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Mal.
It's
Mal, I'm thinking
Dupi
of
and
Mal.
Jacques. That is correct.
Yeah, there we go. A green one, Savvy? Okay, you've got a green one. And I think, Ross, this is what you called for, so we're all away and obey here. There we go.
Okay, well, why are we not starting?
It's waiting for somebody.
I can't hear.
There it is.
Hold on,
It's
let me just
on.
go.
It's
Let me
on.
just-
It's going.
Perfect.
1 second, we're in. It was just waiting for the guys to ready up. And there we go. We're going into the loading screen.
So after this race, we will go into Bruno and Dirkie, followed by Charles and Jacques. Then we basically sort out Jakes and Gerard, and the winner of Jakes and Gerard will go up against the winner of Bruno and Dirkie, and that essentially becomes the semi-finals.
We're already there.
Well, if I look at the time, we are running about 30 minutes late than what I'd originally expected. But with all
but I
the
think
challenges and troubles we have, I think it's...
I think basically we had such a storm and what was going on, but we've done it. We've managed to get it done, and I think that's great for all of us that we've actually happened. Oh, there we go.
Marius and Dupi.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. There we go. Yeah, you can get quite dizzy with all these cars disappearing. There we go.
Okay, so we'll see that Dupi, he'll come and pull up alongside Marius.
Oh, here we
At
go.
the starting line, there we go. So they'll line up. Now they are waiting for the 15 seconds on the clock to come up, and they'll be off. Marius definitely got the better start, but Dupi will be on the inside. Oh, Marius just starts that line. So Dupi will have to just come off there a little bit. Oh, I think Dupi's had the same problem I did. He ran very wide going into turn number 1. But he shouldn't give up just yet. You can see how that car just drifts going around that turn number 3, the long left-hander. Down into the chicane, very tricky in this car. Then as you come out, you want to put your foot to the all the way down to the bottom, but unfortunately this car doesn't allow that. See how the suspension at work as you hit that inside curb, making sure that you don't go down into first gear, because there are only 4 gears in this car.
Oh, there we
that's
go.
Marius.
A little
He's
bit of a
put it
slide
sideways.
from Marius there. This may give that 8-second gap an opportunity. Let's see how far, but it doesn't seem to have made an impression for Dupe at the moment. So that's quite an interesting one. I don't know where Dupe is. Maybe we should pop back down to him. He's 8 seconds. There is the problem. So are these cars, is the damage on at the moment?
Damage is on, so you would have noticed that in the previous race when I went up behind Yolan, unfortunately he
So we're going, are we? Yeah, well, I'm watching. Oh, another. Yeah, I think the party has been closed. I'm hoping that the stream is still going live with the voices. But that's it. The race is done and dusted there. But I can assure you, a very difficult one, especially after you have a little bit of a facelift and cosmetic surgery done to these vehicles. That's the problem that you're faced with. So that rallycross, where is it under? Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let's just go back in there. So, ooh. Yeah, I'm just hitting up, making sure. No. Damn it. Let's go back into there. And it's under manufacturers and it's under O. Coming down to O, it's under the Opel or which one? Aha, I have it. Savi-za, that's the one. So we seem to be having some network problems. Yep. No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, we're fine there. There is somebody else in the stream because there's a considerable loud noise, but I'm sure we won't hear that on the stream at the moment. So we are looking at Bruno as well as and Durkee, yeah. Quicksilver. Just want to make sure that we don't have any feedback from the stream at the moment. Yep. And I tell you, at the moment, I think that Bruno has some work to do, especially as we are underviewing Bruno at the moment. But I tell you what, Dirk is doing an excellent job of just maintaining and controlling that vehicle nicely around this track at the moment. So that's fantastic to see. And you can see the distance is not that great at all. I mean, it's 0.5 of a second. So, yeah, a little bit wide there from Bruno, but here he comes back nicely, looking for that inside lead there, but obviously well blocked by Durkee at the moment. There seems to be a little bit of a penalty that's been placed on Bruno at the moment, so we'll have to see what happens there. But he's got a long way to get round Quicksilver, a long way, and that's what it is. It might only seem like a 0.3 to 0.2 second, but it is a long way. You can see that cutting in. Oh, a little bit of drifting. A little nudge again. Yeah, I don't think Durkee's going to give any space or any little areas through to allow Bruno to get through there. So this is going to be a tough one for Bruno, that's for sure. And there's that little... Oh, almost. He's bringing it back. You can see the shoving. There's a lot of kissing going on here. We're going to have a chat with him after this. Oh, awesome racing. Bruno's now coming back in a big way there, Dylan. I think, wow, exciting stuff to watch. They're going to reverse over the line. That's fantastic stuff from both of these drivers at the moment. They're pushing it, and it looks as though Quicksilver, Durkee's, that was awesome. I think there's going to be some hargy-bargy in the pits there between the mechanics. Never mind the drivers, but the mechanics are going to go for it. So very nicely done there, because they've got a lot of work to put those cars back together at this particular point in time. So let's return back to the lobby and just wait for Dylan to give us the okay on what's the next cars we're going to be racing here. Thank goodness we're doing the stream quite late, because the kids are in bed and sleeping. So if you heard any words that you shouldn't have heard, you shouldn't be watching this right now. So we are on the 911 GT3 RS, and that is the next car up for the challenge. So Charles and Jacques are coming up. One second to start, and we start into the loading screen right now. And yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a whole network challenge this entire particular session, but I mean, it's great to... Dylan, is your voice coming across in the stream? Okay, so we're up on Turbo Shawl and Mal at the moment. And I can tell you what it's going through. They're going to be pulling up to that line. There we go. A little bit of aggression there from Turbo Shawl. And obviously the settings are as follows. We've got a burnt orange with a... I don't even know what to describe that color. But there they're away. Turbo Shawl making cream soda fizzer. There we go. Thanks, Dylan. Unfortunately, I was hoping you could actually hear Dylan at this point in time. But I tell you what, fantastic racing going on right now. As you can see, Turbo Shawl pulling away considerable distance, almost up to 0.5 to 0.4 of a second ahead of Mal. But I'm sure Mal's not going to give up that easily. He's going to make sure he's going to be in a place and a position to get back into this game. And I can tell you right now, it is fantastic. What you're seeing is a little bit of over-braking and under-braking from Mal, because he wants to get past Turbo Shaw, because he knows how great that threat is, especially in this particular event where you have to make sure that you get the win and go through to the next round. Yeah, I think if we look in now, just pushing back, and then if I look at Turbo Shawl now, way ahead at this point in time of over 1 second. And that 1 second in these cars is a little bit of a long way to try and catch that back up. But there we go. That is what the name of the game is here. And let's go on board at the moment with Turbo Shawl. You can see here's that little bend that the guys have had a bit of, through that chicane. They've had a bit of problems there. Obviously pushing the car to the right, but they're handled very nicely. And let's go back here to Mal. Mal has, you can see Turbo Shawl just in front of him there. 3 seconds at the moment, but a big mistake, unfortunately, from Mal there, which is giving Turbo Shawl definitely that gap that he's looking for. Now up to 5 seconds behind Turbo Shawl. So I think this is going to be done and dusted right now. And yes, it is. So Mal in second position. Turbo Shawl goes through, and we're off to the next round. So let's have a see and a view on who's going to be next. As you can see there, great times from these guys in pushing their way. Let's return back to the lobby and see what are the next steps. So, Dylan, what car is next up? Okay. So here's the Buck Mono that's up and ready to... Jakes and Gerard, good luck. So 305 is the horsepower on these little vehicles. And good luck, guys, and let's see what happens. So while it's busy going in, let's see if I can just create another party to bring Dylan back into this particular section. It looks as though I might be able to do that, and then just while it's in the loading screen, just bring it back before we get all excited. Yes, it is possible. Let me just send an invite quickly to Dylan, and then he'll be. Oh no, it's not working again. So let's go back. So there we go. Both mics are on for broadcast according to this. So let's go to Jake's at the moment. Whoopsie. There they are. Oh. These are awesome, powered, aggressive start. I tell you what. And I'm just looking across. It's just waiting for the stream and the live stream to happen. But there they go. And they're away at the moment. You can see, obviously, Jake's getting a little bit lost behind Gerard here. And let's see what unfolds. A very quick little car. Very nice power to weight ratio on these. And I tell you, looking at what they're doing with these things at the moment, it's great to see where they're going to be lining up and situated. And oh, there we go, a little bit of an incident there. Gone is Gerard. He's now just put that into the wall. And you can see Jakes flew past him at this point in time. So he's now up in the front runner, making sure that he's going to dominate here and maintain that position. I think that's what he wants to do right now. And if I look there a little bit, we're down to not too far. If I look at what's going on here, so there's the distance, and I think there could be, as you can see, doing about 222 to 230 kilometers an hour, 240 already, down this long straight. Obviously, got to watch himself, pull it back, but there is that distance closing quite quickly. There is about 1 second, and Jakes has just got to watch himself. Make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Make sure he puts that vehicle in the right place at the road time coming around these bends at the moment. And I think he's pretty much tucked it. There we go. Unfortunately, Gerard's lost it again. And I think that was the definite push from trying to get it into those S's. Very definitely got the car sideways. Let's just go up to Jake, see where he is. He's taken control. Hasn't made a mistake as yet. If I look at his last lap, it was 125. Obviously, Gerard put in a 127. But I think this is done and dusted. So this means that Jakes goes through. As we pass the line here, he's going through to the next round.
Eau Rouge is one of those mythic corners. All the teams are lined up on that wall. Everybody's watching to see who's going to lift or who's going to carry the most speed through there. And for the drivers, you all know, you really judge each other because it's one of those measures of bravery. Long approach, you come out that hairpin, you make your gear changes, you get up to speed, you start hugging the pit wall, you try and get as much aerodynamic benefit from hiding behind the wall. But all you're doing the whole way down is measuring the car and getting yourself absolutely critically prepared for what's about to happen, because if you don't rock up...
I just wanted to see your reaction, you know what I mean, put you a little bit in a different place. So here they come up to the line at the moment, going through. Dylan up. He doesn't get quite the pull away he was looking for at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to come back quite nicely now and obviously push through. Looking at where Marius is situated, it looks as though he has the advantage, and you can see already 0.6 seconds ahead. Dylan needs to come back. He did. Ooh, a little bit loose there. There seems to be a penalty given to Dylan at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to come back quite nicely. Let's go back to Marius at the moment, and as you can see there, holding tight in the cockpit here. You've got to watch that little sway in this little Toyota. This is the Toyota 86 GT, and I can tell you now, a little bit of a monster to ride. Nicely done by Dylan there, taking over. So he's now got his foot in the door, which is very nice driving from him. Marius want to come back in a big way, and look, a little bit of slide there, but obviously braking at the right point and then pushing it through, looking for that little area to come through there. Dylan closely being watched by Marius at the moment, and it could be that Marius has got his head in front of Dylan. So he's put that nose out in front. It seems as though he has got that a little bit of a head there, and he's obviously now into lap number 2. And is this done and dusted at the moment? No, because this is round or lap number 2. There is a violation that has been given to Dylan at the moment, and I just heard screaming in the background, so hopefully he's okay. Yeah, it looks as though Marius pushing himself ahead of Dylan at this particular point in time. Dylan, yes, still on the track and looking 5 seconds behind Marius at the moment. And let's see if there is a possibility that Dylan can come back from this little incident. And it seems as though this is going to be, it kind of looks as though if Marius can maintain this. I see he slowed down quite a bit at the moment. However, yes, he is going ahead. It is 6 seconds on the clock ahead of Dylan. So, yep, this is going to be almost around the corner, done and dusted. Very, very nice driving from Marius at the moment. Well tried, Dylan, but obviously he did not and was not able to get past the Marius at the moment. So you did get a 1 second penalty there. Obviously that does affect the overall time. And you can see best lap there, 118 versus 145. So, what car is up next? That is the cabbie. So Jakes and Bruno up in this pair, and let's see what can happen with both of these individuals. There is a little bit of a pull ahead, bringing up 15-second countdown happening right now, and they're away at the moment. You can see there Bruno slightly ahead, but it looks as though Jakes is catching up. There is a penalty given to Jakes there, so he's going to make that. He has to bring that back into line. But there we go, some nice driving happening from this pair at the moment, and you can see right now Jakes leading this race. Very nice from him. There we go. I've just been informed within a second of one another. I thought there was a caution there. It's obviously when it turns red that there is a penalty. So going ahead there. So Jake seems to be the head man in this pack, but obviously keeping well Bruno Bay. But here we go. We got to be so... Oh, that was so close from Bruno there. That could have been a really serious accident, but obviously Jake's now maintaining his position on the track and looking to go ahead and take this one. They are on lap number 1 here going through, and there they go through to lap number 2. Obviously, it looks as though Bruno has to desperately come back and find that opportunity to get himself around Jake's at the moment. You can hear these engines screaming at one another because they definitely want to make themselves the top dog for this specific race. Now, let me tell you, Jake's in lap number 2, and I tell you, a close time for both of them. The best times, 1:30.083 and 1:33.43. That's how close this is. It's down to the 100th of a 10th of a second. And I tell you what, it is amazing to watch these two at the moment. There we go. It's sort of 0.7 seconds, 0.6 seconds there. A little bit of a grass off on the grass. So that's obviously put now a problem down into the 1 second. But it's make it or break it at this point in time. And it looks as though Jakes is going to be taking this right now, and he just has finished the race as the winner of this round. Dylan, what is the call for the next round? So here we go. Marius and Mel at the moment, they'll go up to the line, wait for the 15 seconds, and then away they go. So very nice driving from these two at the moment. And here we are going to watch. Slightly behind, but there is a great pull away from both of them at the moment. So there we go. Into the play comes Mal, looking to get past Marius. Is he going to go on to the inside? This is where we're going to have to watch and see. But that Cleo pushing out a little bit, as you can see there, by Marius, and he seems to have caught it back. So yeah, he is pushing at the moment, but there is a 1.2 second lead happening at the moment with Marius. So great drive from him at the moment. There we go, less than a second now. Oh, a little bit out. He got a little bit of a lockup, definitely on the rear, as Dylan is telling me. So yeah, I agree with him. I saw that clear as day. So here he goes again. Let's go out and see who is in which position. Here's we coming down to Marius in the yellow and black car at the moment, looking to keep it nice and tight and obviously pushing through in this little Clio as he wants to maintain his lead. He has pushed it up to 2 seconds. So now we are 2 seconds ahead of Mal on this track. And I think doing a great job is Marius at the moment, really getting it nice and tighter on actually pushing it. He's almost doing a bit of drifting here. I mean, just now we're going to be asking him for lessons. I don't think the mechanics are going to be too happy with that, but there we go. Mal is in 3 seconds behind. Let's have a look at him at the moment. See what's happened to him. Yes, I think it's that color coordination you see there. That's exactly what I was talking about. If you get on the wrong side of that, it's going to throw you, literally pick you up and toss you across the track into the right. And that's what many of the individuals have done this evening. And it's not due to them being at fault. It's thrusting that car towards the right-hand side if you take that curb on the wrong side at the moment. So if we go back to Marius at the moment, almost finished 2 laps here and well in front, 8 seconds. He has done and dusted this race, and congratulations to Marius. He moves on, and unfortunately Mal, thank you for coming. The Radical is which brand, or is it just Radical? It is the Radical. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, I know what it is. Okay. The 8, sorry, I do apologize. So it's not this kakdung. Oops, it's that one. It's that kakdung. Since the guys are calling it a kakdung. For those that don't understand Afrikaans, it's a shit thing. I can say that at 14 minutes past 11 in the evening. And I've been up since 4 this morning. I was down in Cape Town. So, yeah, I'm just holding on. I'm holding on, Dylan. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. So here we go. Right now, we're on board with Dirkie at the moment, who's just behind Jakes at the moment, looking for an opportunity to get past. And I can tell you what, this is going to be a really exciting one if you are watching. And it's great to see this rivalry taking place as they go through now. Jake's well ahead now. He's got to keep that control going, but I'm sure Dirkie is going to make sure he comes back in a big way. And you can see there, under a second, there was a bit of a lockup there happening, but I'm sure he's going to come back and obviously push to keep himself as close as possible to Jakes at the moment. There could be an opportunity looking for Jakes to make a mistake, and that's what he will be doing currently at this point in time. So it looks as though pushing through there nicely. Now just on a 1 second, 1.5 seconds, we're going into lap number 2. It looks as though Jakes may have this one handled, locked, and the key in his pocket, but really we know what's there it is. Quicksilver coming off, sliding right off the track. Unfortunately, done and dusted is his game this evening. And well done to Jakes, obviously pushing through. It might mean significantly that there is another race happening here between these two, because obviously that is what we've got to watch out for. So it's not done and dusted. It means that Jakes has to do this all over again. And the question is, are they going to do it in the same car? I think that might be the question that needs to be, and I've just heard and confirmed that they will be doing it in the exact same car. So we're going to watch it over again. All done. This is done. Is that Jakes has won this one, but they will do a replay on this particular line. So we go back into the lobby, and immediately as we go back in, they are going to ready up, and we're going to go straight back into this race again. Yeah, I think so. Especially on this one with a great pull away there. Oh, it looks as though Quicksilver does get through. Oh, but another smash. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I think obviously now Jake's now pushing well ahead, almost 2 seconds now. So no opportunity given there to Quicksilver to come back. And I think this is going to be done and dusted at the moment. So we'll start now on lap number 1. You can see already 1.2 seconds ahead. Oh, and another sliding happening from Quicksilver. I think the comment was he doesn't like this vehicle. He would have much preferred a different vehicle, but the rules are the rules. Going forward now is Jakes. He's well in advance there, 6 seconds ahead, and we can obviously see we're in lap number 2 at the moment, and it looks as though currently watching Jakes and Quicksilver at the moment. So Quicksilver 5 seconds behind at the moment. Is there any way he can come back and obviously put an upset on the table this evening? I don't think it's possible for him to come back. I think Jakes has done an exceptional drive all evening and really kept it quite nice and tight. Yes, he did have a slight hiccup, but he is going to most likely make it to the final as he goes through the last couple of bends here for this race, where he's going to make himself here for this race the champion of the race, the ROC of this race that's happening right now. So great stuff there. Really 13 seconds behind. Let's have a look. Is this done? Yes, Quicksilver coming through. It is done, and congratulations to Jakes at the moment. He's pushed himself up and in as a contender at the moment for the ROC Championship. So we move back now to the Buck Mono. Marius and Scholl, I think, are up on this one. So, just listening, say that again, Dylan. I didn't get that. Okay. And if Charles wins this, he goes straight through. Okay. So Charles and Marius up right now. Marius slightly behind, so he's going to have to come up right next to Charles. They'll start on the 15-minute mark, and a 15-second mark in 15 minutes. Shows you how tired I am at the moment, but he's going to go up and go from there. So here we are on board with Turbo Charles. Turbo Charles moves up to the line, slightly behind. Look, I know he's looking for that 15 second. There we go, 15 seconds on there. Going through is Turbo Charles at the moment, looking to go forward. And I tell you what, there's Marius looking for an opportunity to get past him at this point in time. Turbo Charles going slightly wide there, protecting the line. He did have almost, he did have the right of way there. So that's great driving from him at the moment. And as as you can most likely see, the gap between these two is only 0.2 of a second at the moment, so that's where it's all in. Oh, a bit of shoving left, right. Guess what? It looks as though Marius is going to go through. Turbo Charles put back, but it seems as though he slowed down, allowed Turbo Charles to come back in. And yes, that's exactly what's happened. Some excitement on this race at the moment. Really, Marius having to hold back. I think he would have got a penalty if he didn't, because of that little kiss and bargy that was going on there. So, yep, he's basically put himself back. We're on lap number 2 right now. As you can see, Marius very close to Turbo Charles, looking for that opportunity to get by. Has gone extremely wide, but you can see how close this racing is. And I think it's all about the car at the moment, what they enjoy driving the most. And just listening to the comments in the lobby, the guys were absolutely ecstatic when they heard they were driving this particular vehicle around the track. It looks as though another nudge, and there we go. It looks as though Marius obviously holding back now, because he's done that twice in that particular 3 seconds. So he is pushing a little bit, trying to get past. But Turbo Charles is up and about and going to make it through. So it looks as though, Marius has an opportunity to get past him, which he's just done. Oops, what happened there? Wow, so we go back again. So a great pull away there from Turbo Charles. Marius looking to come back now, and it looks as though it's going to happen if we look at that first corner. But here we go, going way wide to try and get around Turbo Charles at the moment. But there, Turbo Charles maintaining that position. Here comes another opportunity, obviously, to get by. Marius looking for that outer lining to get past and through Turbo Charles at the moment. So here we go. Yeah, pretty close. And once again, it looks as though it's pretty tight. But obviously, Marius having to slack off and get back behind Turbo Charles at the moment. Turbo Charles made a slight error there under pressure from Marius. Great racing happening here. Does he come through? And a very tight near miss to the wall. Turbo Charles there, but obviously no worries there. He's coming back nicely and looking for that opportunity. So Marius now ahead of the pack into lap number 2. Is he going to take this away from Turbo Charles at the moment? Seems to have a penalty against him. Yes, he has a red marker on his number. So this could be a defeat for him on this track against Marius at the moment. But there we go. Here he goes now. Turbo Charles has gone past Marius, and that's what I think he was waiting for. Overreacting, obviously on the wrong side, and that's caught a lot of the drivers out today. And once again, I've got to mention it, where they are in a specific position coming down that hill, and it chucks that car to the right. So there it is. Is this now a win for Turbo Charles due to that slight error from Marius coming down that specific area? Almost just a few more meters done and dusted. So Turbo Charles makes it through, and it's a big congratulations there. Yep. Charles got a 1 second, and then obviously a 3-second penalty for Marius there. So, what is the last cars for racing this evening?
You'll go green this time. Lights are out on the safety car.
So, Jakes is no longer with us. Let me just put that on the table. Via cuck move. Awesome. Sorry, what car was it going to be? Sorry, I forgot that. There we go. Sorry, yes, there we go. This is the last race of the evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, final race happening right now, and it's between Turbo Charles and Jakes at the moment. So, we're going to watch exactly what's happening between these two. Yes, they are in the Lamborghini Hurricane at the moment, and I'm sure this is going to be an exciting one to keep you right here. You can see them lining up at the moment, ready for that breakaway. Seems as though Jakes has got himself on the line. Turbo Charles looking. They're going to wait for that 15-second. There it is. Now, this is going to be some tight racing happening at the moment. So you can see right now, all down to this one at the moment on board with Turbo Charles, who is leading this race at the moment. You can see how close that timing is. It's under a second to play here, and Jakes is probably looking at which opportunity he has to get past Turbo Charles at the moment. So here we go, along these lines, looking for that opportunity, looking to push and see if Turbo Charles makes a mistake. So here it goes around this long turn into this chicane section, looking for an opportunity to get past. And I tell you what, Jake's pushing it in every aspect of what is needed from him to get past Turbo Charles. Remember, this is the final for this evening's event. Lap number 2 we now move into. Is there any contact there? No, he's lost it a little bit. He's lost it there, so obviously a little bit of losing that particular part, which has obviously now made that gap between him and Turbo Charles almost a second now. But you can see this is where the problem does come in. If you get it loose here and wide, you just put it into the kitty pit, and that's what you don't want to be doing. So now Turbo Charles looking to take this as another victory for him on the Race of Champions. So very nicely done from Turbo Charles. He's now looking to finalize and to put his final stamp and name on his trophy for the Race of Champions. So here it comes. It's done and dusted. Congratulations, Turbo Charles, for taking this particular event, which was the Race of Champions. So we're all done and dusted. We thank you for joining us here on the Sarco Race of Champion event. Remember, it all starts on the 31st of Jan, and it's great to have you join us. Thank you for watching the live stream, and to the guys that are still on the stream, amazing. Thank you, Ross, and thank you, Memo, for all of the support, and as well as Bruno there. So good night, and we'll see you again next time here at Sarco. No problem, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I will do.